Good day, everyone. So, today our topic will be about feminism. So, last time I gave you a slide, a PowerPoint presentation to read it. But I just, I compared it to this slide and mas nindot na siya content than what I gave you last time. So, if you studied it, so just don't bother because same lang man sila og content, pero mas daghan-daghan lang siya og content compared to the other slide nga gihatag nako before. So last time I gave you a task to give an example, a woman who has a great contribution to this society. So some of you said Gina Lopez has a great contribution to this society. Some of you said Miriam Defensor Santiago, and others. So Gina Lopez is, as we all know, she is an environmental advocate. So she is one of those who fought to stop the mining in Tampakan, and also siya pod ang nag-document about the blaans of Landan, Pulomolok. And of course, according to some blaans, some of my friends blaan from London, Gina Lopez is one of the reasons why kung anong na-develop ang ilang lugar as tourist spot. So mano na siya ang amguo, if I am not mistaken. And of course, Miriam Defensor Santiago, one of our greatest senator in Philippines. So we also have Josefa Escoda, a social worker, and of course the founder of Girl Scout of the Philippines, and many more, Melchora Aquino. So that's it. And of course, in history we have Queen Elizabeth. So Elizabeth Porlo is one of the most known na contribution ni Queen Elizabeth when it comes to social work profession. So, and many more siya. And other women who showed greatness in history, Cleopatra and Nefertiti in Egypt, and others. So daghan. So in our history, before, in some part of the planet, in other countries, women do not have these equal rights sa lalaki, right? Wala sila equal rights the same as men. So in some countries ang babae dapat na lang sa balay. They don't have the right to vote or to join political movements. They don't have the right to earn education. Don't have the right to work. Ang ilahan na lang sa balay. So right. So of course, dili man po na nila kumbaga hayahay man ikong isipon, pero they don't like it. They really want to have these rights. Singan na gusto nila og kumbaga karapatan para makisali, singan na makisali, makatrabaho, maka-earn og education, makasali sa any political movement. So but in some part of the planet, again, women are actually kumbaga holds the kumbaga dako nga power in some ancient civilizations. Pagwapa ang babae, they kumbaga they worship the woman as a goddess. Tapos ang iban, they treat women, especially mothers, as a very special person. If I am not mistaken, in Egypt, kumbaga para sa ilaha walay kumbaga they have this I read some article na kumbaga they give special treatment to women because according silang belief, ang babae ang kumbaga nanganak sa kalibutan. That's why they treat women and mothers as an important kumbaga person. So according po silang belief, the pharaohs are trying to do their best para kumbaga maging equal sa isa ka babae, sa isa ka mother. Kung may mga tag mother, or a woman, it holds power. It holds kumbaga ang respect is naa sa yaha. So ang pharaoh dapat ma-reach niya ang ingana nga level. So pag once nga ma-reach na nila na siya nga level, a woman will hold his kumbaga yang siko nga i-level sa iyang kumbaga gunitan sa woman ang iyang siko, iyang gilid, to symbolize nga na-reach na yan ang level. So today we will talk all about feminism. So let's go. Feminism has history and perspective, from history to her story. So feminism is a collection of movements and ideologies aimed at defining, establishing, and defending equal political, economic, and social rights for women. This includes seeking to establish equal opportunities for women in education and employment. So again, before, especially in Japan, if I'm not mistaken, Chinese, especially natay mga karing influences from them in in Spaniards, if I'm not mistaken again, na ang babae before walay equal rights sa men to earn education, especially Japan before wala siya equal rights para magtrabaho, mag-apply og trabaho, because brought by culture or caused by their culture, ang babae dapat na lang sa balay. So another, ang mga babae sa una gina-treat lang as ibang culture nga gina-treat lang as slave. So in our history, we have discomfort women, kumbaga na lang sila sa cage. Then pag makafeel nag-utog ang mga hapon, adto lang sila dito. So they can do whatever they want sa mga babae inside the kumbaga inside sa kulungan. So in history again, wala sila karapatan magtrabaho, wala sila karapatan mag-education to earn education, wala sila karapatan to join in political movements. So si feminism composed of different ideologies, philosophies, mga kumbaga any movement nga to fight na ang kababaihan should have this equal treatment, equal rights with men. So siya. The history of the modern Western feminist movement is divided into 3 waves. Each is described as dealing in different aspects of the same feminist issues. The first refers to the movement in 19th through early 20th centuries, which dealt mainly with suffrage, working conditions, and educational rights for women and girls. So the first wave, kung mga tag first wave, mo na siyang pinakauna nga kumbaga murag movement nila. So of course wala pa sila karapatan in the beginning, wala pa sila karapatan for those education, employment, and politics. So mao gyud na ang mag-compose sana the first wave. So ano siya. The second wave dealt with the inequality of laws as well as cultural qualities and role of women in the society. So since na-fight na nila on the first wave, then target will be the laws, culture, and the third wave of feminism, late 1980s to 2000s, 2000s decade. It's seen as both a continuation of the second wave and response to perceived failures. So till now, if mapansin ninyo, gina-fight gihapon ang laws. So the battle is still on the laws and equality in the society. So that's why our government, kumbaga nagpasa sila og different laws. Right? Bawal na ang discrimination against women pag abot sa employment. So usually naman good ning discrimination when it comes to employment. So why? So imagine women are actually granted for maternity leave. So maternity leave with pay na siya. Wala ko nagkamali, with pay. So imagine mag-hire ka og napagyud ning rights nga karon nga pag once nga may emergency ang imuhang anak, especially for solo parent, once nga magsakit imong anak, dapat granted ka og leave, 2 weeks yata na siya, leave with pay gihapon na siya. So depende sa sa imuhang employment ha. So karon if ang imuhang company is kumbaga production, ka-produce ka og goods, tapos imuhang employees kay puro babae, unya og mga buntis na, so mo na ang ginaiwasan sa sa employers. If mabuntis sila na sila leave with pay, then of course ang production rate sa company nimo magbaba. Wala man kay worker kay naka-leave man. So mo na siya nga ang ginaiwasan sa mga company to hire women. Nag-hire man pero limited or in control compared to men nga wala may na may paternity leave pod karon bag-o lang. So nanay paternity leave. Pero kung gid nato, dili kayo kumbaga dili kayo daghan og excuses ang lalaki maliban lang sa tapulan. So that's why most of the employers are prefer men. And of course napod ning culturally lalaki ang gatrabaho, that's why they prefer men, mga lalaki gyapon nilang i-hire. So siya. So another sa ato ang laws, kumbaga murag wala na po i-balance. For me wala na i-balance. Why? Tungod sa na siya sa third wave, they still fight for laws and cultural inequalities. So let's talk about laws. Nanatay anti-rape law, anti-sexual harassment, nanatay violence against women and children, nanatay rape victim assistance, and many more laws. Pero pag abot sa lalaki, wala man gyapon. Wala joy naga-protect against oleg laws nga naga-protect sa lalaki compared to women. So kumbaga dili na siya equal. Why? Pag in case to case basis, nagyoy women nga till karon gyapon kumbaga luoy gyapon in the society. But because of this kumbaga especially karing mga wise na mga women, they have this feeling nga oy sagpa ako kay makulong ka, so they can do na sila na ang mag superior sa lalaki. So naay mga ingana cases pod nag-exist na siya nga lalaki ang luoy, superior ang babae. So pero wala nagaprotect sa men about ingana. Siguro physical injury lang yun saan na. So that's why wala siya balance, but still kumbaga the vulnerabilities of women are still there. That's why they are still fighting for kumbaga for their rights. So nga na siya. So one of the this year lang katong the way manamit ang isa ka babae, one of the pinaka nag-boom nga topic in social media is how women are kumbaga nagadamit. So of course isa po na silang gina-fight sa sa women. 3 movements. So incidents are included in history of feminism. First movement starts in 1809. Married women property law in US. Till 1928, the right to vote was granted to all UK equally with men in 1928. There are exactly 69 incidents defined within the first feminism wave movement. So in 1809, so women property in law in US. So na siya ang gitagaan na siya karapatan to earn properties ang women, to earn properties. And in 1928, so ang kababaihan sa United Kingdom gitagaan na og equal rights as with men to kumbaga to vote or to join political movements. So to vote is already a right for political movements. Pero wala pa kumbaga wala pa gitong ngon nga nag-run na sila as politician. So in Russia, 1913, women observed their first International Women's Day on the last Sunday of February. Following discussion, International Women's Day was transferred to March 8, and this day has remained the global date for International Women's Day. So 1913 nag-start ang Women's Day in Russia. So that was last Sunday of February. Pero gibalhin siya og March 8 when during kumbaga gibalhin na siya og kumbaga this day gina-celebrate natin na siya every March. So isa jud na siya kabulan, International Women's Month. So then England in 1918, Mary Stopes, who believed in equality in marriage and the importance of women's sexual desire, published Married Love, a sex manual that, according to a survey of American academics in 1935, was one of 25 most influential books of the previous 50 years. So si Mary Stopes, so na siya gisulat nga book. So it's about kumbaga married love. So sex manuals. So takabalon sa content ani, and because even me ko kabasa ni nga book. So but I think it's about kumbaga how to strengthen relationship, marital relationship. And of course, isa sa karibitong kabit-kabit, this is one of the reasons karing about kumbaga sex with married couples. So still it has different factors man good. And of course, in Germany, 1919 granted women right to vote. So in Germany in 1919 sila ang kababaihan sa Germany year 1919 sila gitagaan og right to vote. So sa United Kingdom it's 1928. So nauna si Germany. So England 1919, Nancy Astor became the first woman to take her seat in the House of Commons. So nanay in 1919 sa England kumbaga natagaan na og rights ang women to join political movements as a politician or magkaroon og pwesto sa government. Singa na siya. China, the first female students were accepted in Peking University, soon followed by universities all over China. So again, sa una walay karapatan ng babae to earn education, but China kumbaga i-allow na nila. That was in Peking University. So second wave. So the first wave is na-allow na to earn education, nanay political rights, kumbaga nanay pwesto sa government ang women, nanay politicians, nanay right to vote. So siya. Second wave movement. Incidents included in the second wave of feminism movement are started in 1963. So taas kay nga span of time from 1919 or 1920 to ang second wave is nahitabo during 1963. The report of American Presidential Commission on the Status of Women, which caused the enacting of Equality Pay Act in 1980s, feminist sex wars, last incident in the Japanese Equal Employment Opportunity Law, or the GEEOL in 1985, prohibits gender discrimination which respects to recruitment, hiring, promotion, training, and job assignment. There are 140 incidents included the second wave of feminism movements. So diri gitagana sila og right for employment. In first wave, again, education and political rights. In second wave, the employment, right for employment. So again, if napansin niyo, naay mga countries nga na-mention ako a while ago, like China and Japan. Kay sila magud ang nag-practice ani karing bawal magtrabaho ang babae, bawal mag-eskwela, bawal join politically. Pero this time gi-allow na nila. So they have the rights now. So most important incidents. In 1966, 28 women, among them Betty Friedan, founded the National Organization of Women. So now, the American Radical Organization, Red Stocking, organized. The American National Black Feminist Organization was formed. The Canadian Human Rights Act was passed, prohibiting discrimination based on characteristics including sex and sexual orientation, and requiring equal pay for work of equal value. The second wave began in 1980s in Turkey and in Israel. So, ang second wave movement of feminism started in Turkey and Israel. So, mana siya. And of course, they under the second wave movement, na-include na po dra ang kumbaga the discrimination, kumbaga dapat tanggalon ang discrimination against for employment. So nga na no. So why? Or gitagana sila og kumbaga karapatan para magtrabaho. And of course, they are still fighting karing discrimination about employment kay they have this especially from culture, from history nga kumbaga dili pwede ang babae para sa magtrabaho. Of course, dili po na siya agad-agad ma-shift nga okay, karang pwede na. So dili po siya nga nakadali because culture, when it comes to culture, it takes really kumbaga dako pa nga span of time para ma-change na siya. So ingana. And of course, kumbaga ginasugtan man sila magtrabaho pero gamay ang sweldo. And of course, they have this belief manggod nga ang babae lamia. So when it comes to employment, iya palihokon. So mana ang kumbaga murag stereotyping before. So ingana, kumbaga hinay palihokon. So ikaw kapoy pud na So that's why they are fighting for equal payment. Nga pareha lang sila sweldo sa lalaki. So siya. Then the third wave movement. The incidents that consist in the third wave of feminism starts in 1991. Published an article by Rebecca Walker, American feminist, becoming the third wave. So si Rebecca Walker ang nag-publish ani nga book nga naay title nga kumbaga becoming the third wave, because they are kumbaga starting a new movement. So again, sa third wave ang ilahang gina-fight is kung unsa ang ilang gi-fight during second wave. So the incidents that consist the third wave of feminism from 1991, published an article by American feminists becoming a third wave, following establishments of riot girl movement in Washington and continuing till now. The latest famous incident were the slut walk incident in Toronto on 3 April of 2011, and stated and globally the slut walk issues of spreading. Slut walk was incident that Toronto police stated women are victims because they are walking and wearing like sluts that had created too many challenges in spreading on media over the world. There are 31 incidents in the third wave of feminism. So slut walk, if I am not mistaken, katong katunin siyang maglakaw sila naked. So nahitabo ni siya year 2016, if or basta later kumbaga mas kung nahitabo siya 2011, murag may nasundan pa ni siya nga nga movement. So karing slut walk. So kumbaga asa na to, slut walk in Toronto, globally slut walk is spreading. So if I'm not mistaken, United Kingdom also did this, pero nakalimot lang kung sa year. So they are another is 2015 or 2016, the tanan babae sa Amerika katong basta na hitabo ni siya, tanan babae sa Amerika is nag-protest because of kumbaga this discriminations against women. So tanan sila nag-protest, puro babae tanan. So daghan kayo sila. So nga na. So that's another kumbaga the third wave. So most important, in 1994, the Gender Equity in Education Act became law. It banned sex role stereotyping and gender discrimination in the classroom. So when we say sex role, or dili tong role nimo pag mag-sex. So sex role, for example, lalaki ka. So bawal na buhaton sa babae kay pang lalaki na, or bawal nimo na buhaton kay lalaki ka pang babae na siya nga role. So no. So nga na ang ilahang kumbaga gitanggal karang stereotyping. Kung gusto buhaton sa babae ang role sa lalaki, they can do it na. So nga na. So of course, in karing gender discrimination in classroom ban. So pasabot nanay, in America nanapoy right ang babae to earn education. Violence Against Women Act became law in the US. So VOW. The Fourth World Conference on Women was held in China. The Gender Equality Duty of the Equality Act 2006 came into effect in the United Kingdom. Norway requires all companies to have at least 40% women on their boards. So sa employment in Norway, they require at least 40%. So 40% ang lalaki sa ilahang board, sa ilahang dili sa blackboard, kung dili sa board sa ilahang company. So nanay position ang babae when it comes to employment, dili lang trabahante. So 60% lalaki, 40% babae. So that's it. So again, in first wave na ay ang ilahang fight is the cultural inequalities, the education, the political rights. Then second wave, the cultural inequalities and the right for employment. And the same with the include na dra ang laws sa sa second wave and till the third wave. Okay, we have different feminism ideologies. So number 1 is liberal feminism. Seeks individualistic equality of men and through political and legal form without altering the structure of society. So liberal feminism. So seeks individualistic equality of men and women. So they fight they fight for this equality because mao gini ang isa sa ilahang they are thirsty of equality because in history dili po jud basta-basta ang ilahang kaagi. So and they are afraid na magstay sila sa nga state of society where men still has the superiority, the oppression. Okay, radical feminism considers the male-controlled capitalist hierarchy as the defining features of women, oppression, and the total uprooting and reconstruction of society as necessary. So, male-controlled capitalist hierarchy or bitang gitawag na to nga the same guy na when it comes to employment. Dapat nanay women sa board 40% of the board must be women. So nga naman kay kumbaga women should kumbaga have these rights when it comes to kumbaga join. Yan naman, they need kumbaga when it comes to empowerment, how they can be empowered if they do not have the kumbaga dili nila ma-develop ang skills when it comes to business, capitalism. So yan na, that's why they should kumbaga have the knowledge and skills when it comes to yan na. So reconstruction of society as necessary. So of course you are fighting for a change, then there must be reconstruction in the society. Kumbaga anam-anam na to bag-ohon ang society where a society nga gina-discriminate ang women, walay rights ang women, into society nga empowered ang women. Conservative feminism. Feminism is conservative relative to the society in which it resides. So conservative, so unsa ba ang isa ka conservative nga tao? So they kumbaga it is a type of feminism. Kumbaga in number 1, liberal, katong gusto nila og equal rights for women, right? So gusto nila equal rights for men. So trabaho ba na siya, education and others. Then radical, katong gusto nila nga kumbaga gusto nila nga na may right dapat when it comes to kumbaga capitalism, dili lang lalaki ang dapat may karapatan. Ang kumbaga turan kumbaga business ba na siya or in a board, so dapat na ay women or kasali ang women. Conservative feminism, okay, dapat especially I don't know if nasali diri ang cultural. So cultural or cultural feminism, katong gusto nila ma-preserve ang kumbaga kung saan nag-fight na siya as kumbaga lain nga history. Now it's part of the culture. In some cultures, in tribes, some tribes in Mindanao or in Philippines, nagyapon ni siya where ang babae dapat na lang sa balay pero gipaskwela gud gyapon. But unlike the kumbaga ang role sa lalaki mas bugat compared dito sa babae. So right, so nga na siya, may rights na sila to vote, may rights na sila to earn education, pero about employment, so naman sila right but they prefer na kumbaga sa balay lang. So depende pud sa ilahang as mag-asawa. So cultural feminism or the conservative feminism, so namang gyoy qualities ang isa ka babae before nga dapat dili gyud mawala, though bisag unsa man ang changes in these societies. So libertarian feminism conceives people as self-owners of therefore as entitled to freedom and coercive interfere. Separatist feminism does not support heterosexual relationship. So separatist, a type of feminism that does not support heterosexual relationship. So when we say heterosexual, those are kumbaga people who are attracted to opposite sex. So lalaki ko, ma-attract ko sa babae, opposite sex ako nga sex. So the same with female, opposite sex katong attracted sila sa lalaki o tug straight. So man siya heterosexual. So this kind of feminism, especially the kumbaga we have this homosexuality manggod. So kumbaga, those are women who prefer women, especially like lesbians. So dili sila gusto nga ma-stereotype or ilahang kumbaga their personal preference. Prefer na ko babae lang. So napo na siya nga na. So that's, I think, isa po na sa gifight sa under Soji bill. So nga na, isa po sa according diri nato yung slides diri na which is pasok sad siya sa Soji bill. Okay, so that's separatist feminism. When we say separatist, dili mi tanan, kumbaga dili ayaw mi i-view tanan as women nga dapat lalaki lang gyud ang ma-prefer. So kumbaga separatist, kumbaga lahi ami siya. Then we have the lesbian feminism. Is thus closely related. Other feminists criticize separatist feminism as sexist. So napoy nag-ingon nga ang kumbaga separatist feminism is actually a sexist. Kung mga tag sexist katong kumbaga ga-discriminate ka sa other nga opposite sex or opposite sex. So na siya. So lesbian feminism mapunin sila ang katong mo ni siya ang isa sa kumbaga na focus sa kay Karen Horn ayata to nga nga theory or the feminine psychology katong penis envy. Kumbaga na mga babae nga gusto nila og kumbaga they are dreaming or na gusto nila nga magkaroon og penis. So yan na. So that's under lesbian feminism. Kumbaga gusto nila og maging lalaki because of gusto nila maging lalaki because of rights, but it's because self preference. So that's it. So we cannot explain homosexuality manggod. So lisod ka na siya explain. Unsa man gyud imuhang reason nga naging bayot ka or naging kumbaga naging tomboy ka. So isod na siya explain. No. Then eco-feminists see men's control of land as responsible for the oppression of women and destruction of the natural environment. Ecofeminism has been criticized for focusing too much on mystical connection between women and nature, katong mother nature. So mapo ni si ecofeminism katong ang oppression sa kumbaga ang right sa lalaki to control the land is naga-result siya nga maguba ang ang nature. Like for example, mining. So lalaki man ang trabaho. So kani si ecofeminism, it's all about nature or ecology. So they are more concerned about environment, ecology. So that's it. Like again, Gina Lopez and other karing mga environmental advocate. So man siya loin. Then materialist feminism grew out of Western Marxist thought and have inspired a number of different movements, all of which are involved in a critique of capitalism and are focused on ideology relationship to women. the materialist. Then Marxist feminism argues that capitalism is the root cause of women's oppression and that discrimination against women in domestic life and employment is an effect of capitalist ideologies. So I think dari lang sa tataman for now. So next time will be the remaining slides. So main discourses of feminism. So kato mga situations or problems where involved ang women. So that's all for today.